form and format, and even like how he collaborates with other people. Do you know a comic called Zero by Ales Kot? Yeah. See? Let me get a round of applause for Ales Kot.
All right, so hi everyone. Thank you for coming. This is really weird, and I mean weird in the original sense of the word, which means fateful, of fate in a way, because this is the con where back in 2011 I first met Eric Stevenson, who to this day is my favorite publisher, and it was through Joe who pretty much dragged me all the way over to him. This is where I pitched my first comic, and this is also where it's the last convention I ever came to, back in 2015, before I sort of took 2 years away from cons, away from publicity, and mostly just focused on figuring out how to be a better writer and how to be a person, I think, in a lot of ways. Yeah, and now I'm back, and what I'm bringing you from the mountains are two stories that hopefully have all that experience and that change that I've undergone somehow embedded within them, and I feel very, very, very good about them. And the first one is Generation Gone. That would be it. It's a comic book that answers that question that, you know, all of us have already asked many times over and over, which is what would happen if, you know, 3 hacker kids who are, you know, millennials and kind of poor and really, really angry would get superpowers sort of by accident as they were about to rob a bank. And what happens is a lot very, very quickly, including the two of them. You can see right there, sort of, one of them sort of realizes that their relationship is extremely, extremely toxic. And, you know, when you realize something like that after you all get superpowers, that really kind of complicates things and you don't really know what to do with it. So in a way, it's like Unbreakable maybe meets Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind or so. And, you know, if it included also trips to the sun, weird black goo, riots, you know, breakup fight inside a nuclear factory because I'm nothing if not subtle, anger, lust, love, you know, and also just plain old survival, which, you know, feels kind of relatable in 2017 America. Generation Gone is essentially for every kid struggling right now. It's what it means to be young right now. It's about that, at least from my perspective, though I'm a little bit older, but hopefully still young inside, as they say. I don't know, maybe. I'm working with amazing people on it. I'm working with Andre Limario, who quickly became one of my favorite collaborators because his sense of scale is absolutely astonishing. He can do, you know, as you can see, he can do big space stuff, he can do massive crowd scenes, but he can also do these subtle human moments that are packed with emotion that is, in some cases, very, very subtle and would be hard to draw. And, you know, it's like, it reminds me of that thing where Alan Moore once told David Lloyd when they were making V for Vendetta that he wants him to draw V smiling, except that V is turned with his back towards the audience. You know, I don't know how they did it, but the panel actually works. Andre's sort of similar. He can do these gut-wrenching things and action and space and love, all of it. And Chris O'Halloran, who's coloring him, is also my first-time collaborator. As you can see, those colors are gorgeous. So there is that. And Clayton Cowles in lettering, Tom Mueller, my frequent collaborator on all the design. July 2017. Yeah, now we're going to get to the second one. Let me tell you, I had a week, so I have all of these posters that I'm desperately trying to hide from you, but it's totally not working. So I'm just going to not pretend anymore. I'm just going to occasionally look back at them. This is The New World. This is a book set in America, specifically in New California, a few decades from now, after the Second Civil War ended, and things got in some ways better and in some ways way worse. It's a dystopia. It's a dystopia of the kind that something like, let's say, Hunger Games is. Something like, you know, no, I actually don't know. Bugger it. What I can say is that the wall is still up between Mexico and California and many other places. What I can also say is that the Los Angeles is now called New Los Angeles because it's post-earthquake, the massive one that everyone's been waiting for forever. And it's about these two, and I presume that all of you know Romeo and Juliet, right? Yeah, I mean, obviously, duh. So, riddle me this. What happens when Romeo is essentially this straight-edge, extremely OCD hacker, and Juliet is essentially a reality TV star who also doubles as a cop in that reality TV show, and she does have a license to kill. Well, what happens is they crash into each other. I almost said inside each other, oh God. Now you know where this is going anyway. Basically, you know, there's this great song called Teenage Kicks, and I think hopefully it has a bit of that feeling. You meet a person and you just know. You love them exactly the way they are, and you realize that you will do anything to be with them, to protect them, to support them, you know, and to lift them up. And it feels like every mistake that you've actually ever made was produced by your desire to be with that person before you even met them. And that's a lot of what drives the New World as this interior, deepest feeling of why I'm making it in the first place. And you know, what happens when you do something like that, well, you don't do it, it just happens to you. I don't think you really do it, per se. But then you sort of both have to take the lead, and you have to take a gigantic leap, quite possibly. And that gigantic leap might sometimes be a thing that will make the world go mad. And you realize it before you do it, but you sort of don't have a choice unless you really want to betray yourself. So, you know, you do it. You jump in, and turns out that you're living in a world that's essentially a combo of Mad Max and Romeo and Juliet. And you might be on the run, you might be fighting back, you're in love, and you know it, and there's no escaping from it. And it's all drawn by Tradd Moore, who is doing what I think might be one of his most beautiful, well, pages and the overall work of his career, really. It's astonishing to be finally working with him. We planned this for about 3 years. And it's really strange to even see it ready now. And as far as colorist, it's that person over there, Jordi Belair, who is absolutely wonderful. Read her book. I'm so excited for it. I love you too, Jordi. Yeah, it's, you know, it's all of us, all of this team, and including Clayton Cowles and Tom Mueller again, really giving us, giving you the best comics we believe we can make, and keeping it real, and sort of, you know, telling you that we believe in love and in awesome comic books. And sort of when I look at it, really, both Generation Gone and The New World are sort of two sides of the same coin, because they are really about love, fate, and action. And that's all I have to say. Thank you for listening. See that?
He came prepared. Do y'all want to hear something wild? Yeah! We're 2/3 of the way through the announcement, so we've got more gold coming for you. But who wants to like pause to catch a breath? How are y'all feeling? Still excited? Yeah! I couldn't really hear the back of the room on that one. Back there, are y'all excited? All right. Are there any basketball fans in the audience? Yeah! See, there we go. Any Golden State fans? Seattle Sonics fans? Yeah, there we go. So I'm going to get back to the comics in a second, but my hope is that since the Kings traded DeMarcus Cousins, they're going to move the Kings to Seattle to become the Sonics again, because Sacramento does not deserve a basketball team anymore. So let's get back to it. This next announcement is one of, I think, the most influential guys in Image. He was around in the 90s. He had a little book called Mage.